the theme busted kind of made me think of jail. And the story I want to tell is when I went to jail. See, those are people that know me. They're surprised, or maybe not. So let me give you a little background on this. I went through a very, very, very awful divorce and lost my mind, and it's still gone. And that's why I'm up here now. And I then started dating someone who was 10 years younger than I was, and that was, it was a great relationship while it lasted. And then it ended right under the 2-year mark, and in honor of the almost 2-year anniversary that I didn't celebrate with this person, I decided that the best way to cope with this was to go by myself and drink too much. So, to a place unknown, but they later became an employer of mine, so don't tell. So I went and I drank too much. And I got in my car, and I'm sure there was something very melancholy on the radio, you know. And I was crying, and I was sad. It was very sad. And I decided at some point maybe I shouldn't be both crying and I still wasn't drinking, but I've been 5 minutes before drinking, and driving. Not a good combination. I don't advise it. Mark doesn't drink, so he wouldn't have that problem. So anyway, 235-5535. You know the number. You know you do. Okay. That's Doyle Cab for those of you that didn't work for Great Plains in the day. Okay. Anyway, so I pull my car over in a parking lot that is a church parking lot that I'm pretty sure I was looking for the Lord at the time, but he wasn't there. However, Officer Johnson of the West Fargo PD was. And so I'm in my car and I'm crying, and Officer Johnson approaches the window, and we have a discussion, and Officer Johnson, due to his training, decides that maybe we should do some roadside calisthenics together, which we did. I had really cute shoes on, did not fall over. Also did not pass roadside calisthenics. And so spend some time in the back of Officer Johnson's car. Now, if any of you want to make a charitable donation, I recommend Kleenexes to the West Fargo Police Department. They are not equipped with them in their car, however, they need them. As I reminded Officer Johnson about every 6 seconds. And so we spent a little time together, and we determined that I, should not be driving, and we go to Cass County Jail. Never been to Cass County Jail till then, but it was, I don't know, it's jail. I didn't know what to expect, but it was jail. So I'm sure none of you have ever been to Cass County Jail, except to pick up that friend of yours that you won't admit to. Oh, I should back up too. I've used this story and said it wasn't mine and it was a friend's on a blog. That would be a lie. So just in case you ever read my blog. In the spirit of truth and not being busted, she made up that story and stole it. No, it's my story. So I'm in Cass County Jail, and little did I know you can bail your own self out of jail. $40 will get you out if you have an ATM card and the machine works, which the machine did not work because the Canadian apparently had broken it. Ironically, the only cash I had was a $20 Canadian bill because I just returned from Canada. They did not exchange the currency at the Cass County Jail. So I'm now in jail waiting, and I'm getting processed. And again, none of you have been to jail, so you don't know this, but there's like rows of chairs, like think bus station. And there's 4 or 5 rows of chairs, and you're sitting in the chairs, and you're waiting for the processing, the photographer and the fingerprints and the whole bit. And I was dressed kind of cute. I had new shoes, kind of like I do now. And so I'm waiting in the chairs, and I'm just kind of hanging out and, get my name called periodically, and this was actually scarier, so that's good. So I'm back and forth, and I realize as I get up and down that I am the only female, except for the really growly prison guard who won't take my $20 Canadian. She was not happy with me at all because I kept offering it to her as a down payment, and she was having none of it. And so she and I were the only girls. I later discovered I had a cellmate who was a female, but that's another story. So anyway, we're the only girls, and I'm sitting in the middle of the chairs, and I'm on an end, and because I'm a Lutheran, and that's where you sit, is on the end of the row. And so I sat at the end of the row, and there's a few men around, and I'm sitting there, and I'm not happy, and I'm a little disturbed, as you might imagine. My head's down, and I've got my head kind of between my knees, and thinking this is not going to end well in any form. So as I sit there, I happen to glance around once, and there's a gentleman, I think he was a gentleman, at the end of my row. And we were the only ones in the row. And I look over at him, and he's looking at me. And I think, well, it's because I'm looking really pretty with the tears and the whole bit. And it's about 1:30 in the morning. And so he's looking at me, and I just kind of look at him and then look back down. A few seconds later, you know someone's looking at you, and I look again. And as you might imagine, men trail behind me everywhere I go. So I'm used to this, but I didn't expect it in jail. So there he is. So I look at him again, and I give him the, yeah, hi, guess we're in jail together. That's great, kind of thing, like, stop staring at me. So I put my head down again, and so then I look up again one more time, because I think, well, maybe I know him, because I know lots of people. Maybe I know him. No one I know. So last time, second to last time I look at him, now he smiles. This is one of these. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe he's commiserating, because we're both here in jail together. No, not so much. And so I look down one more time, and then I look up, and I look over, and he, honest to God, winks at me. I don't remember my exact response, but it was something to the effect of, are you fucking kidding me? So he got a lot of applause and laughter from the men around him in jail, real proud of him and things like that. But it didn't really work out between us. But I think the irony is he was actually not a bad-looking guy, and he seemed nice enough. So I'm thinking in another occasion, maybe we'd work it out today and be together, but it didn't pan out this time. So that was my evening in jail. So.